Hi guys, and welcome to 123MyIT. In this video we will show you everything you need to know about the Apple iMac in 2021. This is a 24-inch iMac, which is the direct successor to the 21.5-inch Intel-based 4K iMac. The iMac range has not had a complete redesign since 2012, which is almost 10 years, so it's been a long time coming. The 2021 iMac gets the new Apple Silicon M1 chip, and we also get an extremely compact internal design. This allowed the designers to reduce the overall size and volume of the iMac while giving us a much larger screen. Pricing for the iMac starts around $1,299 USD for the 256GB base model, and it goes right up to $1,699 USD for the 512GB model. Things to note is that the base model only has a 7-core GPU while the other models have 8, and the other models also come with 2 extra USB 3 ports, a gigabit Ethernet, and a Magic Keyboard with Touch ID. The new iMac is very colourful, and it comes in the colours blue, green, pink, silver, yellow, orange, and purple. In the box you will get warranty and setup documentation, along with Apple stickers. Also included is a 143 watt power adapter, which is external to the iMac. This is a better design for cooling, and it allows you to replace the power supply without opening the iMac. The cable is also colour matched to the same colour as your iMac. In the upgraded model you will have an integrated Ethernet port as well. Next up is the Magic Mouse 2, which didn't receive any update apart from the colour. So you get the multi-touch gesture service on the top, which also has a mechanical click, and you also have the lightning port on the bottom of the mouse, which means you cannot charge the mouse and use it at the same time, which remains quite controversial. The keyboard is a Magic Keyboard and has a really nice lock button at the top right hand corner. The upgraded model will come with a Touch ID sensor, which will do the same functions as it did on the older iPad models. The only drawback I see with this model is if you pick up the keyboard you might bump the button and lock your screen when you don't want to. Both the mouse and the keyboard are charged with a colour matched USB-C to Lightning cable. You would only get one cable, so you would probably need to charge the keyboard and mouse individually. The last accessory in the box is the power supply cable, and thankfully this makes the total length of the cable long enough for most desks. This cable is the Australian version, but if you're in the US you would have the US version. Next you will have the iMac itself. The biggest upgrade on this iMac is the larger display. You get a 24-inch 4.5K screen instead of a 4K, and that allows you to get the pixel density of 218 pixels per inch, which is what makes it a Retina display. It has a resolution of 4480 by 2520 and 500 nits of brightness, which is pretty standard on the M1 Max. True Tone technology also adds a warmer, more realistic colour to the display. In terms of how heavy the iMac is, it's 9.83 pounds or 4 kilograms, which is slightly lighter than the 2012 iMac on 12.5 pounds or 5.68 kilograms. And in regards to dimensions, it stands about 18.1 inches high and 21.5 inches wide. On the back of the iMac you have a stunning deep blue colour with a two-tone effect. However, for the most part you won't see this. The glossy Apple logo on the back is colour matched to the same colour on the front chin of the iMac. So when you pick your iMac, maybe note that you won't see as much of the colour on the back. On the back left side you have two Thunderbolt USB 4 ports. I would like to have 3, as one could be taken up when charging the keyboard. The USB 4 doubles as a display port, so if you have a USB 4 to HDMI adapter, you can plug in an external display. If you are plugging in an external display, make sure you set the main display to be optimized in the display settings. This should give your main display the best clarity, as you can see here. There is no Ethernet on the base model, so this model is Wi-Fi only. And you will be prompted for your Wi-Fi password when setting up the iMac. On the back right side you have a power button which is concaved, so you can feel it when turning the iMac on. Along the side you have a 3.5 headphone jack, but there is no SD card reader, which I get it, you can buy an Apple adapter if you need that. However, it does feel limited in terms of connectivity. The design of the stand is a thing of beauty, however it only tilts back and forth. If you want to raise the height you would need to put a book under it, and if you want to mount the screens on different Vaser stands, then you would need to buy the iMac without the stand included. The iMac comes with a 6-speaker system and force cancelling subwoofers. This improves the performance of the subwoofers without distortion. They sit in the chin of the iMac and there's a speaker grill along the bottom. Let's take a listen. The Magic Keyboard has a lock computer button which is really handy. Just tap it and the iMac will lock itself instantly. Great if you work in an office. The power cable is colour matched and magnetic, so it clicks onto the power socket on the iMac, but it isn't designed to pop out like it does on the MacBook range. Along the top you will find an integrated 1080p FaceTime HD camera with an indicator light. This replaces the 720p version from the last generation. The improvement here is the image signal processor, which is on the M1 chip, and it makes a huge difference. Another big upgrade is the microphone on the back of the iMac. Apple calls these studio grade microphones, however that might be a bit of a stretch. They are still quite good. Cool, let's run some benchmarks real quick and I will show you the fan noise. Starting the benchmark software really works the iMac hard. And you can hear the fan spinning, it's quite loud. To see where all the heat is, here's a capture of the heat on the iMac. You can see in the bottom right part of the chin, it's the hottest at 42 degrees. The heat is probably coming from the M1 chip. The Cinebench multi-core score on the iMac was 6,126. This was better than the MacBook Air M1 we tested, which had a score of 5,324. But not as good as the MacBook Pro M1, which had a score of 7,780. So the 24-inch iMac won't perform as good as the MacBook Pro M1 laptop. Here is the benchmark for the disk read and write speeds, which is much improved over the older generation. The iMac might seem like it's just a home desktop PC for the family. However, in reality, it's extremely powerful and can edit multiple streams of 4K video, as well as drive a 6K external display and edit 100 megapixel photographs. The only drawbacks you might find is if you wanted to play games or you needed more than 2 USB-C ports. Guys, don't forget to check out my other videos such as how to set up sound recognition on your iPhone or iPad. And do me a favour, if you know anyone who might like this video, please share it with them, hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon.